We all know the routine: angling your head slightly in every photo, or keeping your lips pressed just a little too tight to hide a chip, a gap, or a shadow on a front tooth. Fixing your teeth is a major investment in your personal confidence. It means finally letting go of that anxiety and just smiling. But if you start looking for solutions, clinic marketing often lumps a dozen completely different procedures under one vague catch-all phrase: the smile makeover. This creates a dangerous dilemma. If you choose your treatment based on what a clinic markets the hardest, you risk overpaying for an extreme procedure you never needed, or underpaying for a cheap repair that shatters the moment you bite into an apple. Bonding, veneers, and crowns operate at three completely different physical depths. Your dentist chooses between them based on whether your tooth needs a surface-level cosmetic touch-up or a deep structural rescue. By the end of this video, you will have the exact diagnostic criteria a trustworthy dentist uses to evaluate your mouth. You'll know exactly what your specific tooth actually needs and precisely when to walk away from a bad consultation. Every decision in cosmetic dentistry comes down to a single biological trade-off: balancing how much of your natural, healthy tooth structure you want to keep against how long you want the cosmetic result to last. This chart weighs biological intervention against durability and cost. Composite bonding requires minimal enamel removal, but has the shortest lifespan. Here, a dentist sculpts a tooth-colored resin directly onto your raw, unprepared enamel. It happens chairside, in a single visit, without any waiting on a dental lab. Because there is no dental lab involved and very little drilling required, it is the cheapest and fastest fix available. Best of all, it genuinely preserves your natural tooth structure. If you don't like the result, a dentist can polish it away without lasting consequences. But the material itself demands a major trade-off. Composite resin is highly porous compared to your natural enamel or porcelain. That porosity means it acts like a sponge for stains over time. Heavy coffee, tea, and red wine drinkers will notice color drift quickly. It is also structurally softer, making it prone to chipping under heavy chewing pressure. Because of this wear and tear, bonding has a realistic lifespan of roughly 3 to 7 years, and you have to be willing to return for frequent touch-ups and polishing. Bonding is the ultimate reversible patch. It works perfectly for a minor cosmetic chip or a small gap, but it is a poor choice if you have heavy bite wear or expect decades of maintenance-free perfection. Porcelain veneers require a heavier biological input. The dentist must permanently shave off a fraction of a millimeter of your natural front enamel. This makes room for a custom porcelain shell, permanently bonded to the front face of your tooth. The outcome here is cosmetic dominance. Porcelain behaves like natural light-reflecting enamel, allowing dentists to create flawless, multi-tooth symmetry. It's highly stain-resistant, and a well-made set easily lasts 10 to 15 years. But the biological trade-off is severe. Because you have removed natural enamel, this procedure is completely irreversible. Veneers represent a strict aesthetic middle ground. You trade a layer of your natural enamel for a permanent, flawless facade, and you lock yourself into a lifelong cycle of eventually replacing those shells as they age. Dental crowns sit at the extreme end of intervention. The dentist files down the entire visible structure of the tooth, turning it into a small peg. That peg is then capped by a heavy-duty artificial crown, taking over the tooth to provide maximum structural integrity. This level of reinforcement makes crowns the ideal choice for back molars, teeth hollowed out by root canals, or patients who severely grind their teeth in their sleep. The trade-off is absolute. A crown demands the maximum loss of your natural tooth structure, and because of the lab work and materials required, it carries the highest per-tooth cost of the three options. Crowns are the heavy-duty anchor of dentistry. Placing a full crown on a perfectly healthy tooth just to fix a minor cosmetic flaw is severe overtreatment. Once you understand the biology, the financial traps become obvious. It's incredibly tempting to chase the absolute lowest per-tooth quote in your city, or to book a flight abroad to save 20% on a minor treatment. The immediate trade-off of a bargain basement quote is quality. You are sacrificing premium lab materials, the hours required for custom shade matching, and the precision fit necessary to keep bacteria out of your gums. This chart breaks down the financial reality of dental lifespans over a decade. On the left, you see the low marketed upfront cost. But look at the right bar showing the 10-year true cost of ownership, stacking up replacement cycles. A cheap bonding job that chips and needs replacing 3 times often costs more than doing one quality porcelain veneer right the first time. Medical tourism follows the exact same logic. Once you add up the flights, hotel nights, and the logistics of traveling for multiple visits, you obliterate any return on investment for anything short of a massive full-mouth reconstruction. The cheapest upfront option frequently becomes your most expensive long-term mistake when you ignore the hidden maintenance cycles. A reputable dentist rarely looks at your mouth and prescribes one blanket treatment for every single tooth. This diagram shows how clinical diagnosis actually works in practice. A careful provider evaluates your mouth tooth by tooth, matching the specific treatment to the individual damage and function of each tooth. In a single mouth, you might place a tough zirconia crown on a broken back molar, use porcelain veneers across the 4 front teeth to create symmetry, and apply simple composite bonding to smooth out one chipped canine. Beware of any clinic that offers you a bulk, single treatment package for your entire mouth before they've even inspected your teeth individually. Reputable cosmetic dentistry follows a customized architectural blueprint designed to preserve as much healthy natural structure as possible while reaching your aesthetic goal. Let's look at this decision tree to identify your specific scenario. We always start with structural needs. If your tooth has significant decay, a root canal, or if you are a heavy night grinder, you need the functional survival of a crown. If your tooth is structurally healthy, but you have an isolated chip, a small gap, and you want to keep costs low, you are an ideal candidate for composite bonding. If you have healthy teeth, but you're prepping for a major event, like a wedding, and need a multi-tooth, symmetrical cosmetic transformation, you fit the profile for porcelain veneers. In short, choose bonding if you want to completely preserve your natural tooth structure and are willing to accept the reality of future touch-ups. Choose veneers if you are seeking a permanent decade of aesthetic perfection and accept that you are losing a layer of enamel forever. And reserve crowns exclusively for teeth that actually need heavy-duty functional survival against chewing forces. Treat the absolute lowest quote as a question, not a bargain. Always get 2 opinions. Ask to see a portfolio of similar cases, and never let a dentist alter your healthy natural enamel without explaining exactly why a reversible option won't work first.